The Golden Boy versus the Invisible Son. Every family has favorites, but mine took it to an extreme level. My older brother Jake was the center of my parents' universe. He was the golden child, the one who got praised for everything, even when he did nothing. I, on the other hand, was just there, an afterthought. Jake was the athlete, the charmer, the future leader of the family business. He could do no wrong. He barely scraped by in school, but my parents blamed the teachers for not recognizing his potential. Meanwhile, if I got a perfect score on a test, no reaction. But it wasn't just school. When Jake crashed our dad's car at 17, they bought him a new one the next day. When I asked to borrow the car to get to work, I was told to take the bus. When Jake wanted money for a weekend trip, they handed him cash. When I asked for gas money, get a job, Adam. So I did. I started working at our family business, a medium-sized company my grandfather had started. It specialized in high-end home renovations. I was 14 years old when I started helping out. I worked weekends, summers, after school, learning the business inside and out. Jake, he never lifted a finger. But my parents still talked about how he would inherit the company one day. I told myself it didn't matter. I would build my own future. But then my father died. The will that broke me. My dad's death was sudden, a heart attack. One day he was fine. The next, he was gone. I was devastated. Despite everything, I loved my dad. I had spent years working under him, learning everything about the company, hoping just maybe I'd finally earn his respect. But when we sat down for the reading of the will, I realized something. I had never been part of the plan. The lawyer cleared his throat and read it out loud. Jake got the family business. Jake got the house. Jake got the savings and investments. And me? $5,000. That was it. My entire inheritance was a check for $5,000. I sat there stunned as Jake smirked at me. My mother patted my hand like I was a child and said, "Jake is the one who will carry on the family legacy." I didn't say a word. I just nodded, stood up, and walked out. That night, I sat alone in my tiny apartment staring at the check. $5,000 for 10 years of loyalty. That was the moment I made my decision. I would take everything from him. The long game begins. I knew revenge had to be strategic. If I lashed out immediately, my mother would protect him. If I tried to fight the will, I would lose. So I did the opposite. I congratulated Jake. I shook his hand, smiled, and said, "You deserve it." He believed me because he always thought he was better than me. Meanwhile, I started planning. Jake was lazy. He had no business experience, no sense of responsibility, and he treated employees like garbage. The first thing I did, I reached out to the most important employees, the lead project managers, the top designers, the most trusted contractors. I took them out to dinner one by one. I listened to their frustrations, nodded in sympathy when they complained about Jake's arrogance. Then I whispered, "You know, if you ever need a better opportunity, I might have something for you soon." I did the same with clients, the wealthy homeowners who paid top dollar for our renovations. I played nice, built relationships, and waited. All the while Jake thought he was untouchable. The fall of the empire. The moment Jake took over, the business started collapsing. He blew through money like it was infinite. He bought a sports car, went on expensive vacations, and started dating Instagram models who only cared about his wallet. Meanwhile, I was making moves in the background. I started my own company, taking the best employees and biggest clients with me. And Jake? He didn't even notice until it was too late. Within a year, his company was bleeding money. The employees he treated like trash. They quit. The clients he ignored, they came to me. Jake was losing everything. The business coup. Jake tried to fix things, but he was too incompetent. He took out massive loans, thinking he could recover. He was so desperate, he even asked me for advice. I smiled and told him, "You'll figure it out, man." He didn't. 6 months later, he was forced to sell the business. And the buyer? Me. I bought the company. The same company I had built with my own 2 hands for pennies on the dollar. Jake, he had nothing left. The house of cards collapses. Jake had used the house as collateral for his failing business loans. When he defaulted, the bank took it. Guess who bought it? Me. I didn't need the house, but I wanted him to watch as I took everything he had. And my mother? She was furious. She called me demanding I help Jake. He's your brother. You need to fix this. I laughed. Fix what? The mess you created? She hung up on me. Jake's rock bottom. Jake went from being a millionaire's son to a broke nobody. He ended up working a minimum wage job in retail. The same guy who used to flash his dad's money around was now stocking shelves. One day, he showed up at my office. Adam, I need a job. He was desperate, humiliated, begging. I looked him in the eye and said, Sorry, Jake, you're just not the right fit. The final blow. A few years later, my mother called. She wanted to make amends. I see now how unfair we were to you. I told her it was too late. She made her choice. Now she had to live with it. And Jake? He'll spend the rest of his life knowing he had everything and lost it all. The lesson learned. People say revenge isn't worth it. But I disagree. This was justice.